Why are they sacrificing humans? Why are they sacrificing children especially?
When David Icke first talked about things like this, he lost a lot of support because people at that point in our time weren't ready to hear it. I think people are more ready to hear it now.
Yes.
These sacrifices are actually about the release of energy that occurs. That's one point. And the second point is the chemical, the neurophins that are released are a drug to reptilians. I've talked about the cat, domestic cats, and I've tried to alert people, and I said that if we accept that 250,000 years ago a reptilian task force took what was human here and started to alter our genetics, if we accept that, then we must accept that a scientist, no matter who or what they are, would want to experiment on lesser life forms first. And you need a mammal, because you don't want to go cutting up a human if it doesn't work. So they experimented on animals, and one of the animals they experimented on was the domestic cat. That's important. It answers your question. And first of all, the cat is a mammal, yet it has an eye like a snake. And no scientist or veterinary surgeon has ever explained to me adequately why a mammal would have an eye that can do exactly what a snake eye does.
And sometimes a cat will attack in the same way as a snake.
Yes.
Be a bit unpredictable, of course.
Very much so. But they share more than that, because a snake can spit and hiss. So does a cat. The snake has a sensing organ on its roof of its mouth where it can actually sense. Now, I don't think anybody keeps a cat, but if you've ever seen a cat open its mouth, it is doing exactly the same. It is sensing. So why, if you believe in Charles Darwin's evolution, why would a mammal have so many traits that a reptile has? Because there's no way they can have sex. There's no way that a snake and a cat can have offspring. So we have to accept that there's been a genetic crossover, and the only way that can be is artificially working it up. So why does a cat play with a mouse? If you see a cat with a mouse, it doesn't kill it straight away. It tortures it, it teases it. And the reason is that the mouse releases a special chemical because it's in fear. When a mouse is in fear, it releases this special chemical, and the cat, it's a drug to a cat. A drug. That's why a cat doesn't kill a mouse, it plays with it. So when a reptile tortures a child, the child as a mammal releases it, and that's a drug to it. And that's what's going on. Now, that's a truth. Now, if that truth was released by the BBC, we would have a revolution across the planet. That's why the truth doesn't come out. It's not about, we don't want public to know about flying saucers. It's the questions that would be asked after the release of, the flying saucers are real. Question number one would be, well, how long have they been coming here? Question number two is, why didn't you tell us? Question number three is, who's flying them? And by the time you get down to question 20, the government's in the position where it's going to be hunted. The citizens are going to throw them out like they did in Iceland. Well, that was for different reasons. So that's what's going on. And it is almost too incredible to comprehend that this is going on. But I can assure you it is.
When those people who are performing those horrendous satanic rituals and they're torturing children in a circle or whatever it is, absorbing the energy, you say, and then they kill them, drinking blood.
Yes, that's part of it, but it depends what the child is designed for.
But are those people reptilian in nature? Are they like shapeshifters that David Icke has been talking about, or others?
They're both. They're both.
They're both?
They're both, yes, they will work together.
So they can change form, those human-looking
people. If you've
people.
got, there's a certain small group of humans on the planet, and I call it an overlay. They project, they a bit like You go to the movies, you take your seat, and the projector throws the film onto a screen. But what these creatures are capable of is they use the human skin as the screen, and they project, it must be about a millionth of a millimeter above, and they have a different face. They are an overlay. People didn't grasp it when David Icke tried to explain it, but you can have a whole range. You can have a full reptilian. You can have something that's half human, half reptilian. It goes right down the grading, but only the top group would want to torture and kill humans.